Step right up, step right up. Come on in. Everybody get comfortable. We are reviewing some presentations that my Hermes and Buzz agents have created for us to review together. I want to talk about the agent economy. Okay. When Gen Pop thinks about AI agents, they probably think about OpenAI and chatbots and maybe some agents that they've built out inside of these frontier model platforms like OpenAI or Anthropic, Claude AI. And there is an entire economy being built right under our feet and hidden right here on the open web. All right, they're roaming around. These agents are roaming around the internet, buying and selling things. Okay, so there's this new agentic economy, and I want to review this with you and talk about it. So let's get into it. Let's move me out of the way. And this over here so you can see it better. So we've got the agentic economy. Who is buying when the buyer is an agent? And this is a very abstract concept for most of us. A data-driven look at the fastest growing technology market in history, where AI agents don't just recommend products. They discover, negotiate, and complete purchases on behalf of humans. $7.6 billion AI agent market in 2025, Grand View Research, and that number is from Grand View Research. And then we have 79% enterprise adopted agents per McKinsey study, and $262 billion in AI-driven holiday sales. And this information is coming from Salesforce. And 49.6%, so almost 50% market CAGR. So CAGR stands for compound annual growth rate from 2026 to 2033. So this is the projected compound annual growth rate for this type of economy. So these numbers obviously are getting attention from a lot of marketers all around the world. And the market is real. AI agents went from novelty to infrastructure within 24 months. The numbers say this is the fastest enterprise tech adoption curve ever recorded, growing faster than cloud computing did at the same stage. So AI agents are the fastest growing enterprise tech category in history. $7.63 billion, that's the market size in 2025, and this is from Grand View Research. And then $182.97 billion is projected to be the market size in 2033. And 49.6% is the compound annual growth rate for this market. So Gartner predicts 40% of enterprise apps will embed task-specific AI agents by the end of 2026, up from under 5% in 2025. This is a 8x increase in 12 months. By 2028, AI agents will intermediate over $15 trillion in B2B and business-to-business transaction spending, reshaping how enterprises buy, sell, and manage procurement. And this is according to Gartner. Customer service agents captured the largest segment at 32.2% of market revenue, which is about $2.5 billion. Coding agents hit 4 billion, growing at 52.4% so 52.4% CAGR, which is the compound annual growth rate, the fastest subcategory that is growing right now. North America dominates with 39.63% market share, about $3 billion revenue in 2025. Asia Pacific is the fastest growing region. Disclosed agent AI funding rose from $1.5 billion, 31 deals in 2024, to $2.3 billion, which is 50 deals in 2025, with $1.1 billion already raised between January and May in 2026. January, February, March, April, May. So 4 or 5 months, depending on how you're counting and from what date you're counting. And so that's less than half the year. So it could be close to 3 billion by the end of 2026, maybe more, depending on the exponential curve and when this starts to taper off, because we're looking to see if this becomes an S curve. Sometimes with these trends, you'll see it come up and then it'll still go up, but just not as dramatically in kind of an S shape. So it might come over here and table off a little bit and then go up and then table off a little bit. Okay. So it may not go up at this crazy rate forever, but we shall see. And then it says this quote from AI Buzz from Grand View Research Synthesis. So from Grand View Research Synthesis in 2026, agentic AI is growing faster than cloud computing did at any comparable stage of its adoption cycle. And then we've got the pilot graveyard. Nearly every enterprise says they're doing AI agents. Almost none are running them in production. The gap between experimentation and deployment is the largest enterprise technology in history. But this is also very interesting, this funnel. So we've got the adoption to production funnel. So 79% adoption, some form of AI agentic use. So that's 79%, almost 80% adoption. Then we have 62% are experimenting with pilots and proof of concept. We've got 38% that are piloting active agent deployments. 14% are actually ready to deploy, tested and proven, and then 11% are in production. So 88% of pilots never reach production, and this is according to a McKinsey study. McKinsey State of AI is the name of the study in November of 2025. Deloitte surveyed 3,235 executives in 24 countries were surveyed. Gartner in August of 2025 also helped consolidate this information, and PwC, 308 US executives in April of 2025. So fairly recent studies. 79, and that's the thing about studies. They're always going to be looking in the rear view mirror. On some of this stuff, we're always going to be looking in the rear view mirror. That's just how studies work, unfortunately. But these ones are pretty recent. 79% adoption, 11% in production, a 68-point chasm. 2.1 million average sunk cost of failed agent production in the Fortune 1000 companies. 88% of AI agent pilots never reach production. 5.1 months median time to value for agent deployment. So it takes roughly 5 months on average time to value for agent deployments. 96% of organizations are using AI agents in some capacity, and 97% are exploring system-wide agentic AI strategies, yet only 11% of them are in production. And this is, again, according to the McKinsey and Gartner studies. 88% of organizations experienced at least one AI agent security incident in the past year. Only 21% have matured governance model for autonomous agent work. Top barriers to production are evaluation gaps at 64%, governance friction at 57%, model reliability concerns at 51%, and this is according to Digital Applied. The gap has a cost. Production grade architecture costs 2 to 3 times the original pilot build. The average failed project wastes about $2.1 million. Okay, and this is according to Agent Market Cap. The top cases by deployment rate: customer service at 43%, data analysis at 38%, code generations at 35%, document processing at 31%, and sales pipelines at 27%. By industry, the financial services lead by 91% adoption, which I think will shock a lot of people, that the financial services are the highest, they're the most interested in AI and using AI agents to move money. Technology is at 88%, healthcare 74%, retail and e-commerce at 72%. The gap between adoption and production is the single most important metric in the AI agent economy right now, and this is according to Signal. Read signal.io in June of 2026. It's not a technology crisis, it's a product management crisis. Agents start buying. AI agents move from recommending products to completing purchases. The 2025 holiday season proved it with 262 billion in sales, 20% of all global orders driven by AI and agents. This is no longer theoretical. It's happening. The commerce inflection point: AI traffic to retail year over year, Q1, first quarter 2026 via Adobe, up 393%. Shopify AI orders year over year in the first quarter of 2026, 13 times more year over year. 262 billion in holiday AI sales, according to Salesforce in 2025. March of 2025, AI converted 38% worse than non-AI. In March of 2026, AI converted 42% better than non-AI. So vast improvement on conversion. Business to business agent activity: 23% of B2B purchase orders were initiated by agents. 180 billion annual business to business procurement processed by AI agents, and 120 million AI pay transactions in a single week by Alipay. McKinsey study said 3 to 5 trillion agent mediated commerce by 2030. That's the projection. This is according to Adobe Analytics, Salesforce, Shopify, Ant Group, Alipay, McKinsey, Digital Applied, data as of mid-2026. AI agents are transacting at scale, and the numbers are staggering. 262 billion AI-driven holiday sales in 2025, 20% of all global orders. 120 million AI pay transactions in 1 week. Okay, and 90 million ChatGPT weekly active users as of February 2026. Salesforce, according to Salesforce, AI agents drove 262 billion in global sales during 2025 holiday season, which was 20% of all orders. AI referral traffic surged 693% year over year and converted 31% better than the year prior. Adobe Analytics AI traffic to U.S. retail sites grew almost 4 times year over year in Q1 of 2026. By March of 2026, AI referred shoppers converted 42% better than non-AI, a complete reversal from March of 2025, when they converted 38% worse. Shopify AI referred traffic up to 8 times more, and AI referred orders up to 13 times more year over year in Q1 of 2026. So massive change there. Ant Group, Alipay, says AI Pay processed over 120 million transactions during the week of February 5th through the 11th of 2026. Alibaba's Qwen assisted research, Alibaba's Qwen assistant reached 100 million monthly active users within 2 months of launch. B2B procurement, 23% of purchase orders on major B2B platforms are now initiated by autonomous agents, 180 billion procurement value processed by AI agents, 67% reduction in procurement cycle time. Customer behavior, 38% of Gen Z used an AI agent to complete a purchase. Agent-assisted purchases show 2.3 times higher AOV. AOV is the average order value. So agent-assisted purchases show 2.3 times higher average order value. So customers spent 2.3 times more on average, and 41% lower cart abandonment. So they are less likely to abandon their cart when agents were assisting in the purchases. Market projection, agent commerce market valued at 547 million in 2025 and is projected to reach 5.2 billion by 2027, nearly a 10x growth in 2 years. In China, AI agents are already completing purchases at meaningful scales, 120 million agent-driven transactions in a single week. The West hasn't caught up yet, but it will, and this is according to AFP Agents France Press in July of 2026. The new commerce stack, a new infrastructure layer has emerged. These are the platform's tools and protocols that enable agents to discover, evaluate, and complete purchases on behalf of humans. So Walmart Sparky, goal-based shopping assistant across the app, ChatGPT and Gemini launched June of 2025. And this change increased their average order value by 35%. So people spent more, 35% of the people spent more after Walmart initiated or launched Sparky. And Amazon's Rufus, Buy For Me, purchases from external retailers. AWS now resells the tech to third-party merchants at external checkout. Perplexity checkout, free agentic checkout shipped to all US users in 2025. This is end-to-end purchase completion available to all US users with Perplexity. Then we go over to Google's Gemini. Distributes agent commerce through AP2 protocol and partner networks across services. AI and Stripe, ChatGPT pivoting from instant checkout to merchant apps and product discovery, 900 million, so 50 million queries per day. AU means 9 million unique people use ChatGPT every week. This was officially announced by OpenAI in February 27 of 2026, up from 80 million in October of 2025, and double the 400 million from February 2025. So this is weekly active users. Alipay, AI Pay, China's leading AI payment infrastructure, 120 million transactions in a single week. And then market projection from Juniper Research, agentic commerce transaction value of 8 billion in 2026. And they're projecting by 2031 that will be 3.5 trillion, a 43,000% increase over 5 years. And this is the source of this research is Skitrate e-commerce analysis. Ski Rate e-commerce analysis, Juniper Research report in April of 2026. Platform details verified in July of 2026. 6 platforms are building the agent commerce layer. 8 billion agent commerce value in 2026. This is from Juniper Research. 3.5 trillion is projected by 2031. 90% of the business-to-business buying via AI agents by 2028. Walmart Sparky, Amazon's Buy For Me, Perplexity, AI and Stripe partnership. Consumer trust is the bottleneck. Only 8% of customers. So Walmart Sparky operates across the app, ChatGPT, and Gemini, with a documented 35% lift in average order value. And that launched in June of 2025. Amazon's Buy For Me lets Rufus purchase from external retailers, and AWS now packages this technology for other merchants. Then we have Perplexity shipped free agents out for checkout to all US users in 2025, the first major search native checkout experience. OpenAI and Stripe partnered, enabling ChatGPT to facilitate purchases, and 90 million weekly active users with 50 million shopping queries per day. Customer trust is the bottleneck. Only 8% of consumers have let AI complete a purchase for them. And this is from Nielsen IQ. 34% use AI to research. 23% to summarize reviews, but checkout autonomy remains low in the West. New standards are emerging. New standards are emerging. OpenAI and Stripe payment protocol, Google's AP2, and platform native agent APIs are creating the rails for autonomous commerce. eMarketer forecast about $20 billion in US retail spending through AI platforms in 2026, about 1% of the total e-commerce. Morgan Stanley projects $190 billion to $385 billion by 2030. The mid-2026 agent landscape has settled into a short list of serious players. If you're not watching these 6 platforms weekly, you're already behind. I don't really like that message, but okay. What to track weekly? This market moves too fast for monthly reviews. Here's the dashboard for metrics that matter, the signals that separate organizations that capture value from those stuck in perpetual pilots. We have a 80% adoption rate with only 11% in production. Then we have AI retail traffic up about 400% year over year in 2026. Conversion lift, 42% increase in AI versus non-AI. So we're seeing conversion go up when AI agents are used now versus last year. Agent volume is 120 million per week and that's according to Alipay. 21% governance have mature models, and time to value is about 5 months. So the weekly trend, AI referred orders. So 6 metrics that separate winners from perpetual pilots. So the first is adoption versus production gap. Track the delta between experimenting and running in production. The 68-point gap is narrowing, but slowly narrowing. AI referral traffic trends. Monitor AI traffic to your digital properties weekly. The 400% year-over-year growth means this channel is materializing fast. And conversion lift. AI referred traffic now converts 42% better than non-AI. If your AI traffic converts worse, your landing pages weren't AI optimized. Agent checkout autonomy. Track what percent of AI referred sessions complete checkout with human intervention. Only 8% of consumers have let AI buy for them. Watch this number as it's expected to change and increase over time. Governance, maturity, only 21% of organizations have mature agent governance. 88% experience security incidents. This is a risk dashboard. Time to value median is about 5 months. Agents pay back in about 3.5 months. Finance and ops agents take about 9 months. Track years against the benchmark. Don't wait for the economy to change with it. Number one, watch the gap, track the adoption to production, Delta Weekly. Organizations that close the gap fastest capture disproportionate averages. The window is narrowing for late movers. Number two, test one workflow. Pick one agent's use case, customer service, data analysis, or document processing. Ship it to production in 90 days. Measure the ROI against pre-deployment baseline. Number three, track receipts, not hype. Measure conversion lift, time to value, and governance maturity. Publish results internally, and organizations that measure are the ones that scale. So that is my update on the agent economy. I find it completely fascinating and interesting to watch this market grow and this economy change right before our eyes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you at all liked it, please hit the like button, write a nice comment down below, share with a friend, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.